Reb.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing, man? It's Bay.
Hi, Bay.
How are you?
Good. I'm good, thanks.
Good. All right.
Is that your name on the radio? Bay's your name on the radio?
Yeah.
Okay,
Real name
cool.
is Bay. It's actually my nickname.
Yeah, all
That's
of these I've done. My name's Wilmer, but I go by JC on the radio.
Oh, yeah. No, Bay works on the radio too. So
it does. It's a great name.
Thank you. So, all right. So the new Whitesnake album, it's out. Purple, where you guys get to pay tribute to Dave's time in Deep Purple. How was it recording all those classic songs for yourself?
Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, David called me with his idea, and I just jumped for joy and ran out and bought those records. And every song that he wanted to redo was a really good song, and that made me very happy. And that's part of what makes this record so strong, is that there's not a dog in the bunch. He just handpicked them.
Right.
And his vision was to take these songs and redo them, snakeified with giant guitars and just humongous, killer double kick drums, and it really jumps off the records. You can tell it's a big band. It sounds like a band that Steve Vai is in.
Right. You know what? It's you summed it up pretty good, because I was going back and forth listening to the originals and the new versions, and snakeified, I guess, is the good term to use, because it gives it that really big with the double guitars and everything.
Yeah.
That snakeified sound. So yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
How about as I mean, you're becoming that legendary guitar status, playing Richie Blackmore stuff. I mean, did you go into that I gotta Richie Blackmore? Come on, I gotta live up to him now.
Well, I also play in Winger, and
right.
we opened for Deep Purple with Richie Blackmore a long time ago, and that was a drag because there was a lot of people holding signs, Blackmore rules, and when I get out there to play my solo, I hear all this, you suck, and then Blackmore rules, and that was tough. So I had already experienced a little bit of that. No, when doing the record, I was like, I'm doing Mistreated. Sorry, Mistreated is mine. And I went out and I bought a Strat, and I really got a chance to show kind of a different side of me. I love to play the blues. I have a blues band here in Pittsburgh where I live, so I got to really emote and not just do all the Whitley stuff, even though there is some Whitley stuff. It builds into the Whitley stuff, It's
right.
Very lyrical, and that's my favorite track on the record. It's a blues song, and David really shines on that one.
That's awesome. It's funny, too, because whenever I mention Richie Blackmore to anybody, I just instantly say 74 California Jam. Just watch it. It's
right.
It's rock and roll at its finest.
Is that the one where he puts the guitar, he rams it into the camera?
Yeah,
yeah. He rams his guitar into a $50,000 camera, and he had to pay it back. He broke it.
Oh, really? No kidding.
Yep. Yeah, it's classic. I mean, Richie Blackmore, no one else plays like that guy. He really, really is cool. If you really listen to his playing, it's really erratic, but the notes it's like Paganini, like he studied Paganini or something. It's out there, I don't play like that. I wish I did, but it was a great honor, and I got to really know his playing. I listened pretty hard to that stuff.
Speaking of a legend like Richie Blackmore, I mean, here you're playing alongside David Coverdale for a number of years now, and you also got Tommy Aldridge behind you, who's another legend in his own right. What's it like being in a band with these two guys?
They're legends for sure. I mean, there are some nights when I'm up there and David will hit that note in Still of the Night, and the hairs on my arm will just go up. And I've had some epiphanies up there, going You did it, Reb. You did it, pal. You were voted most likely to be a rock star in high school, and your day has come. And so, yeah, that's a great feeling. And playing with Tommy Aldridge, he really drives the band. He's such high energy that you got to keep up with him. And the guy's like in his 60s, mostly when musicians get that age, they start slowing down on the drums, especially.
Exactly.
But not Tommy, man. He's playing. I've never heard him play like this, frankly, on this record. It's the best playing, definitely since Pat Travers that I've heard from him. That live Pat Travers album where he just kicks butt.
Yeah.
This is a lot like that for me.
That's awesome. Have you ever talked to him about playing with Randy Rhoads?
All the time. Yeah, I mean, I live on a tour bus with the guy, so I've heard tons of Ozzy stories. Boy, Ozzy and what's her name? They were like little kids, they would just play pranks on each other, and he tells some very funny stories. But no, I think he was there when the plane went into the barn. Yeah.
Right. Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he always just, speaks so highly of Randy.
That's awesome. So you guys got tour coming up starting end of the month, which is going through the end of the year. You have any idea how many songs with the new album you guys are going to be putting into the set?
Yeah, it's going to be, we're still going to do all the hits. So we'll see. We're still working the set list out, but we definitely want to do the songs on the new album that lend themselves to a live situation. So we're going to play through the tunes and see which ones, stand out, because we obviously have to make sure that we play the hits as well.
Right. Now, which, off the new album, Purple, which song was your favorite to do?
Well, Mistreated by far. that was just, I was so nervous, on that day. It was like, all right, Reb, this is the Mistreated day. I was just, it took me a while to calm down and, because I started out riffing out, and David was like, Rebel, slow down. You have plenty of time to do all your business. And he was right. So that was a big day. And there's lots of cool songs. I like Holy Man. It reminds me of Boston. There's like a double solo that's a lot like Hitch a Ride on there. And, Lay Down, Stay Down is cool. And, there's a lot of songs with cool riffs. And I'm all about riffs. If you listen to Winger, every song has a guitar riff. That's what it's based on. When me and Kip write, we start with the guitar riff. And this music has that. And I'm a big fan of guitar riffs.
Cool. Yeah, you need the big guitar riff.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Now, you also have a new counterpart on guitar. Doug Aldridge left the band and entered Joel Hoekstra. How's it been playing with Joel?
Oh, my God. Joel is perfect for the band. He's like one of those musicians that can read anything, and he has a brain like a steel trap because he doesn't do drugs and he doesn't drink, and his body is a temple. He doesn't eat any food until 6 o'clock at night, and so he's just really on point, So he came in and he knew the stuff so well it wasn't funny. He knew stuff better than I did, and I'd spent months on it. I said, Joel, just play a double solo here. And he's like, and he just doubled it. And he, comes up with harmonies instantly. And he's really fast and really proficient as a guitar player. He can play a perfect solo in the first take, and then he can double it. And then he can play another completely different perfect solo and double that. It's scary. Yeah, he's very, very, very cool. And a nice guy, too.
That's awesome. Were you surprised when Doug left?
A little bit. I was a little bit surprised when Doug left. But, I talked to him about it, and, he loves his son so much. His son is his whole life, and he just didn't want to leave his son for a year, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I understood it. And he's got a good gig in Vegas. He's doing great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Winger a couple times. What's it like for you between the two bands, like when it comes time to where Whitesnake's making original music or you're doing a new album with Winger, what's the differences approaching the two?
It's way different. I've only done the one record here. I didn't have anything to do with Whitesnake Records in the past, just because Doug was the primary writer, and him and David were the team on that. I would just come in and play a couple solos, drink a beer, and leave. That was my involvement with Whitesnake. So in Winger, I'm the primary writer, and I sit down with Kip, and we are very regimented. We have a schedule. We start at 10 a.m., and we basically have to do a song a day, and that's our goal anyway. And it usually works. You know, and Kip's an arranger, so it goes very quickly, you know, because I'm great at coming up with guitar riffs. I can come up with guitar riffs all day long, and then he just picks them out. I like that one, but I don't like that one. Kip talks kind of like Morris the cat, you know. It's like a drone. It's just kind of there's no musicality to his voice. It's one tone the entire time.
Yeah, it's funny because I talked to him last year. We interviewed him last year, and he's exactly like that. And I was almost kind of expecting the same from you, and you're like the total opposite.
Kip and I are opposites. That's why we write so well together. We're like Lennon and McCartney. I'm like, you know, I was born for the stage. You know, I was on the stage since I was a little kid. You know, singing and dancing, and you know, think about the sun, Pippin. You know, like just I knew I was Oliver and Oliver and all that. So. I'm kind of a show-off, and he's more laid back.
That's funny. So is there going to be any new albums from Winger in the near future? Or
yeah, but, you know, I don't know when we're going to get to it. It's going to be I'm taking a break in September, and I'm sure that me and Kip are going to write. I mean, the last record took 2 weeks to write. The one before that took 10 days to write. So... Really, yeah. I mean, we go through it fast because we're a good team. I can come up with licks, and he can arrange them with his classical arrangements that are beyond me.
You know, also too, I never knew. Like, I was going through all the stuff you played on and all the stuff you did being a studio musician. I didn't know you played on the Twisted Sister album, "Love Is for Suckers."
I did. That was a great experience. I wrote a lot of that. I wrote all the bridges. Dee Snider had all the choruses and verses. So I came in and wrote solo sections and outros and just tied all the stuff together for him. So we worked really closely together, and I've never laughed harder in my whole life. Like every day I would laugh till I cried because he is just an hysterically funny guy. And he's a music aficionado, you know. He knows everything there is to know about rock. And it was just a joy working with him. I did a lot of guitar on that record. Cool songs, terrible drum sounds.
So, and you also mentioned that you do a blues band. Now, is that the Reb Beach project?
Yep, Reb Beach project. It started as a blues band, and then we ended up doing, you know, all the hits. You know, we do, you know, songs from the bands that I've been in, but they're like the best musicians in town. They're some of the best musicians I've ever worked with, and you know, so we do some Hendrix and stuff, and then we do some of my stuff. You know, I've got some instrumental music that we do. Black Magic is a cool song that everybody likes.
Cool. Now, I mean, you've had a pretty successful career. Looking back over, I mean, between all the records sold when there was actually records, awards, the studio work you've done, playing with Winger, Dokken, Whitesnake, Alice Cooper, out of everything you've done, accomplished, can you, like, pick one moment where you actually say to yourself, like, holy crap, this is incredible?
There's a couple. There's a couple times. Usually if I meet somebody famous, you know, if I meet one of my heroes, and that's happened a bunch of times. like Jimmy Page comes to our show every time. And my biggest one, I was the hugest Aerosmith fan in the world. And Brad Whitford came to our show. Well, we were opening for Aerosmith. And he came and he plugged into my monitor system and listened to my monitor mix, which was awesome because it was all my guitar and my vocal. So he got to hear, but also not totally, it's just, but my mix was really good. I had the monitor guy. I made him listen to Peter Frampton, the live album with Do You Feel Like We Do on it,
Right.
And I said, make it sound like that. So it sounded exactly like that. And so Brad Whitford got to hear the whole show and watch me do my thing. And another one was Brian May, watched the whole show from my side, just stood there. And I had one of those on nights, and we were playing to 80,000 people. And I had just one of those nights where I could do no wrong, and it was so great to have a great night with Brian May. And he came up to me afterwards and told me he thought I was incredible. And that, that was it for me. That was the time when I said, wow, I've really made it,
Yeah, that's yeah, okay. That tops it. Wow. Well, Reb, I want to thank you so much. I know you're busy and got a ton more interviews to do. Which song off the new album should I play for you?
You mean anyone?
Yeah, take your pick.
Oh, well, I mean, I'd play Mistreated. I think that's got the vibe more than anything.
And you know what? Let's do a little double shot thing. Let's pick one off the Winger album too, because I love that friggin' album.
Oh yeah, which one? The latest one?
Yeah, or Better Days Coming.
Yeah. Oh, Better Days Coming. Geez, it's been a while. What's the good one on there? What's the good one? What would be interesting? Is it like a hard rock station?
It's everything. Yeah.
It's everything.
It's everything.
Because there's a song on there that. I mean, you could play like one of the heavier rock songs. I'm kind of blanking on what songs are on that record, but if you play the title track, I think people will be they'll be shocked because it's kind of like a '60s funk song, but it's a really good song.
Cool, you got it.
All right. Thanks,
cool.
Babe.
And if I can just get you to cut a quick ID before I let you go. This is Reb Beach, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
With Bay?
Sure.
Totally Driven Radio. Okay. You ready?
Go for it.
Hey, this is Reb Beach from Whitesnake, and you're listening to Bay on Totally Driven Radio.
Awesome. Thanks, Reb, so much. And
thank you.
Closest you guys are coming to Philly is AC, so maybe I'll have to get down to AC.
Oh, boy, that'd be great, man.
Cool. Yeah, you guys could come to Philly. You're loving Pittsburgh, I know that.
Yeah, well, Greensburg.
All right, man, take care and good luck with everything.
Thanks, babe. Appreciate it.
Yep, see ya.
Okay, bye.